Yo, hey, this shit easy, nigga. Hey, all I'm talking about, nigga, I'm still out here trying to get it.
Contender Regime Boxing checking back in with y'all, man. What's happening? What's going on? Man, I wanted to talk about the dynamics and the importance of this fight. Lomachenko versus TEOFIMO Lopez coming up. They still trying to figure out where they gonna have it. Bob Arum came out recently and said the fight belongs in Madison Square Garden. You know, TEOFIMO Lopez, he from the New York area. You know what I'm saying? And I think that'll be a good look for TEOFIMO. You know, Lomachenko is the more known fighter, even though Lomachenko really not that big in the U.S. He's the more known fighter in this pairing. So it would help out the whole environment, the ticket sales, all that, just the ambiance of the fight, to have it in that area, so TEOFIMO Lopez can bring in his locals and the people that really rock with him. And you know, whoever that was already gonna come out to see Lomachenko, they gonna show up. You dig? So I think you know, it's gonna be a great fight, man. But this very important because stylistically, the matchup, if you look at where Lomachenko is in his career right now, the fact that he's at his, he started out at, what was it, 126, 130, now he's at 135. He might have started earlier or lower than 126. I could be wrong, but I know I believe he fought Orlando Salido at 126 or 130, one of those. Y'all let me know. So if you look at where Lomachenko is in his career right now, he's fighting bigger guys, got knocked down for the first time in this weight division versus Jorge Linares, which was a fantastic fight, and the finish was even better. He got up, stopped Linares with a mean body shot, you know what I'm saying, came back and was victorious. And that was to me, that was one of his best performances. Just showed a lot of gall, showed a lot of determination, and showed his merit as a true champion. So you look at the fact that he's in his highest weight, he's at his highest weight, fighting bigger guys that are just naturally bigger than him. He's older later on in his career. I believe Lomachenko is what, 32? You know what I'm saying? Pushing 33. He's somewhere around there. He getting up there. Now you got this young buck, TEOFIMO Lopez, full of energy, very athletic, very skilled, a lot of heart, a lot of galls. You dig what I'm saying? He just seemed like, you know, he's really ready to take on the world, and he got a lot of confidence about himself. And that's what you like to see in a young fighter, especially somebody as skilled and as talented as TEOFIMO Lopez. I told y'all before the Richard Commey fight, I actually picked Richard Commey to win that fight. I just didn't know if TEOFIMO Lopez was ready for competition like that so early. Dude was only 13-0. You know what I'm saying? 13, 14-0. You know what I'm saying? And to step up like that in a title fight against a tough competitor like Richard Commey, and to go out there and win in the fashion that he did, on the stage that he did right after the Heisman, a lot of people watching, you know, that's big. That's big. And that let me know he's ready for the spotlight. He's ready for the, you know, the notoriety and the pressure that comes with being a top fighter in this game. Now, the reason why this fight is so important is that TEOFIMO Lopez has a real shot at beating Lomachenko, I believe. I do believe that Lomachenko is the favorite right now, in the eyes of most people. Lomachenko is regarded as, by a lot of people, #1 pound for pound in the sport. It's interchangeable. Some people say Canelo, some people say Terrence Crawford, some people say Vasyl Lomachenko. Now, if TEOFIMO Lopez were to win this fight, that elevates him to a whole nother level instantly. You dig what I'm saying? He might jump on a pound for pound list. Now, I'm not even really a fan of a pound for pound list. I want it to just be one pound for pound guy and everybody else just fall in place. That's how it should be. That's how it used to be. You know what I'm saying? I like to just have, you know, this guy's the pound for pound. When Floyd was pound for pound, it wasn't no argument on who was 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It didn't matter because you knew Floyd was the #1 fighter in the game, skill for skill, pound for pound, period. When Roy Jones was pound for pound, it wasn't even no question who was 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Pound for pound is pound for pound. #1, that's it. That's how it should be. But you know what I'm saying? But he's regarded as #1 pound for pound in a lot of people's eyes. And Teofimo Lopez was able to beat this guy. That just instantly raises his profile. He probably gonna end up on a pound for pound list. And that opens up the 135 pound division even more. Now, Teofimo Lopez looks like he might be going to 140 within the next 5 fights, probably sooner than that. But right now, you got guys like Tank Davis, you got Ryan Garcia, you got Devin Haney at 135, who's also probably going to be moving up to 140 within the next 3, 4, 5 fights. And I mean, this is just huge for boxing. It's huge for the lightweight division, just to see who comes out on top in this fight. And I think there's a huge threat in this fight that Teofimo Lopez could beat Lomachenko. Now, like I said, Lomachenko, you know, in the eyes of many, is the favorite in this fight, as he should be. You know, look what he's done in the game at such a quick pace. You know what I'm saying? Very skilled fighter, very talented, very gifted, very intelligent, you know, witty. Man, the dude can really do everything in the ring, and he's brought his power up with him at 135. You know, when he hit guys respect Lomachenko's power. Even though he's naturally smaller than most of them, they respect his power. You dig what I'm saying? And, you know, I think this fight is going to go one of two ways. You know, it's either Vasyl Lomachenko is going to box circles around Teofimo, get a UD, a wide UD, or make him quit like he did Nicholas Walters, because this ain't the first time Lomachenko done been in there with a athletic, powerful guy. He did, you know, he's fought Nicholas Walter, made him quit. I think it's possible he could do the same thing with Teofimo Lopez, just frustrate him to the point to where he like, damn, I can't even hit this dude. You embarrassing me. Same thing that happened to Roberto Duran versus Sugar Ray Leonard. You know, he got embarrassed. You know what I'm saying? That's what Lomachenko be out here doing to dudes, bro. He pretty much did the same thing to Guillermo Rigondeaux. Embarrassed him. You know what I'm saying? So I think that could happen. Or Teofimo Lopez could just be too big, too strong, too athletic, too young, too full of energy for Lomachenko to handle, and just go in there and overpower Lomachenko. Just beat him the fuck up. That could happen. I could definitely see that happening. I could see him catching Lomachenko with some shit and Lomachenko stumble, never recover, and just get ran over by Lopez. I can see that happening. It's a real threat here, man. This fight is very important because what happens next is going to be big. It's going to be big. You're going to have Lopez with 3 belts. You know what I'm saying? IBF, WBO, WBA. 3 belts. And, you know, Devin Haney is WBC champion, the real WBC champion in recess. Whenever he do come back, his first fight is going to be for the title. So, I mean, the next fight would be for undisputed. You know what I'm saying? It should be. I would love, we all want to see the Lopez and Haney matchup. I want to see Haney versus Lomachenko. You know, we want to see Haney versus Ryan Garcia, Haney versus Tank Davis, Teofimo Lopez versus Tank Davis. I want to see all these guys fight. This fight right here is important because it's 3 belts on the line. You know, and there's a real threat for either Lomachenko, of course, he's the favorite, but there's a real threat for Teofimo Lopez to win this fight. We really don't know what's going to happen in this fight, man. And I'm on the fence about my prediction. I'm gonna go review some film on these guys. I'm going to think long and hard before I make my decision on this fight. You know what I'm saying? This gonna be a good one, y'all. Y'all let me know what y'all think down in the comments, man. Who y'all got in this fight? You know what I'm saying? What's the chances of Lomachenko taking the L to Lopez? Do you feel like Lomachenko gonna cruise through and, you know, do what he always do, come out on top? Y'all let me know what y'all think, man. Contender regime, boxing. I holla at y'all boys, man.